resorting to speculation and innuendo to justify his demands, and they maintain the subpoena was issued in bad faith and is overly broad. The president has called Vance's investigation a fishing expedition and a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in history.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. 4 people wounded, a knife attack this morning in the streets of Paris. French police say the attacker remains at large. Wall Street, Dow futures down, 178. This is SRN News. And Graham Lotz issues a warning.
The popular author and daughter of Billy Graham says America must repent if it is to be saved. She tells the Christian Post, quote, America has a window of opportunity to return to
honor all Dutch victims of the Holocaust. Wednesday's ceremonial laying of the first stone on which the name of a Dutch Holocaust victim was engraved is the latest step in construction of the memorial. It will feature the names of more than 102,000 Jews, Roma, and others who were murdered in Nazi concentration camps during the war or who died on their way to the camps. SRN News. A Chinese pharmaceutical company says its coronavirus vaccine candidate will be ready for the world by early next year.
Sinovac currently has clinical trials in Brazil, Turkey, and Indonesia. The company has already injected thousands of people with the vaccine in China, including 90% of its staff and the CEO, under emergency use approval from the Chinese government. The vaccine's passed Stage 1 and Stage 2 clinical trials, but has not finished Stage 3 trials, which are the global standard. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
A federal appeals court says investors who profited from Bernard Madoff's massive Ponzi scheme must pay back their profits, even if they knew nothing of it. The ruling upheld lower court decisions in cases filed by Irving Picard. He's the court-appointed trustee who has recovered money for cheated investors for more than a decade now. More details at SRN News.
Hi, this is Al Williams, Operations Manager here at WVVC. As we settle into fall, we look back on a very difficult season. Because of COVID, many local businesses have struggled, and some have even shut their doors for the last time. Our station is no exception. We need your support to keep the ministry moving here at WVVC. Would you consider being a financial supporter? All you have to do is log on to WVVC Utica. That's WVVC, like we're the Valley Voice for Christ. WVVCutica.com and click on Donate. We aren't some huge ministry in a faraway state. We're located and staffed right here in the Mohawk Valley. We are local Christian radio serving our local mission field, which is our local community. I just wanted to thank you for listening and supporting the ministry of WVVC.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Friday, we will see partly cloudy skies as our highs will be in the mid-60s. For tonight, we could see a few clouds from time to time. Our lows will be in the upper 40s. For tomorrow, Saturday, look for sunny skies with a few afternoon clouds. Our highs will be in the mid-70s. For Saturday night, skies will be partly cloudy as our lows will be in the mid-50s. For the long-range outlook, temperatures will be pleasant as we will see our next chance for rain early in the new week. Our fall foliage report shows some color already in the Adirondacks and in the Catskills. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC Utica, New York.
So yeah, as I drive around, I'm starting to see more reds and oranges out there on the trees.
Yes, indeedy. It's starting to turn.
It's starting to do that thing that I don't like.
It's starting to fall.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, you wouldn't know it today. Yesterday, it was pretty toasty. Today, it's going to be toasty part 2.
Yeah, it is. And we're going to be up 80 degrees?
Yeah.
We're about the same thing tomorrow?
Hallelujah.
Ooh, sunny and warm.
We're going to start.
Sounds like August.
Yeah, it does. And I will take
late September, early October.
I will take this for as long as it'll come.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, and it's going to be like that pretty much through the weekend.
Yeah.
Now, originally they were saying Monday we might get a little bit of rain. Now they're putting it off towards Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it could happen then.
Did you see any fog on your way in to work today? Because
nope.
On my way in, the fog was thicker than pea soup in a lot of places.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah. And I was surprised there was no dense fog alert or anything like that for us.
No frogginess.
No frogginess in the valley, huh?
Nope.
No. Well, either way, froggy happens.
There it was.
That's what they say. That's what they say. All right, let's get things started.
All righty. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for a new opportunity to praise you. We pray, Lord, for health and wisdom. And Father, we pray as we enter this day that we hear your word, walk in your steps, that we be filled with your Holy Spirit and manifest your greatness, your goodness, and your love here on this earth. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
First on your FM dial, WVVC Dolgeville, Utica, Rome. Inspo Radio 88.1 FM.
People hurting, people broken, beaten down and feeling hopeless. Wonder if it's gonna always be this way. Who will speak up for the captive, show some love and heal a past that binds the wounds we think will never go away. But what if we could be a people on our knees as one before the King? 'Cause we believe. I see hope on the horizon as a generation stepping out of faith. Because we will be a people on our knees as one before the King. 'Cause we believe. Hey, all the world starts changing when the church starts praying. Strongholds start to break. Oh, when we pray. Prison walls start shaking at the sound of praising. Nothing stays the same. Oh, when we pray. Oh, oh, oh. When we pray. Oh, oh, oh. Let your kingdom come, Lord. Let your will be done. All the world starts changing when the church starts praying. Strongholds start to break. Oh, when we pray. All the world starts changing when the church starts praying. Strongholds start to break. Oh, when we pray. Prison walls start shaking at the sound of praising. Nothing stays the same. Oh, when we
Torrin Wells on WVVC 88.1 FM. It's Friday, the 25th day of September, Walt.
Bukus of Tigif.
Bukus of Tigif.
When Hump Day was coming around, it was kind of like, this week's going through pretty well. Now it's like it's Friday, and I'm going, I can't remember the last time I was in church. This seems to be a real long
week. Amen to that. But you know what's great is it's going to be so nice this weekend. It might even be one of the last times you can go out in the backyard, light a fire in the fire pit, and enjoy some outdoor time with the fam.
In short sleeves.
I don't think I would do that in the middle of the winter, go out in the backyard and light a fire. Some of my kids are crazy enough.
I think Miss Kimmy's brother used to have a barbecue in the middle of winter. How you do the Christmas in July, and he would have like a luau in February.
If I had like a pole barn or something with a little bit of heat in it, but you can open up the sides or something, I might do something like that in the winter just to break up the monotony of the winter, because winter's just not my season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my neighbor, they are outdoorsmen, if you will. They've got snowmobiles. He looks forward to winter. I think he's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Your WVVC News Update brought to you by Dr. Uniforms down there on the Boulevard, 1311 Oriskany Street West in Utica. If you need professional gear.
For professional people, if you need spiffy scrubs.
Yes.
If you need a spiffy chef's jacket.
If you need to spifficate your wardrobe.
Yeah, a shiny new toque. Or if you need to get through your day without your feet killing you.
Yes.
He's got those kind of shoes that can help you keep you on your feet all day long.
Absolutely. 315-266-0093 is the number down there at Dr. Uniforms.
Now, your local headlines from the Breakfast Club.
Okay, off the top, the big story that broke yesterday evening, was for Remington Arms. Okay, more than 600 Remington Arms workers furloughed yesterday without any real, information as to whether there will be a job.
Come back or anything.
Because,
oh boy.
Yes, they learned all that through an email that was sent out by the company's CEO, Kevin Darcy. They were basically, when they got to work, they were all, they waited for him to come to work to send him home. That's how that works. The email said that the company had to curtail operations due to liquidity issues, resulting in material shortages. Workers are home with pay through September 29th, so technically the furlough, which makes them eligible for unemployment, starts the 30th of September. Right now, that bankruptcy and auction is underway. Right now, though, even though it appears there's a lot of interest at this auction, there's no information available to the public about whether these folks who are interested are bidding on pieces and parts or the whole company.
Right.
Okay, so we don't have that information.
Now, keep this in mind, Governor Cuomo. If you're an organization that can cough up how much money is Remington Arms worth?
Huge company.
All right. So it's in the tens, hundreds of millions, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Cuomo, if I represent a pack of investors and I buy the organization that is Remington Arms, why would I keep it in New York?
You're right. You're right.
Okay. The most expensive taxed state, as was just stated yesterday by our candidate for assembly, John Zegan. John
Zelensky.
John Zelensky, who was here with us yesterday. And so, I mean, this is what happens. Except, it's the same thing with you and at your table. If you can't afford the rent where you live, you might have to leave.
Right.
So if this organization invests in Remington Arms, they're going to have to answer to their stockholders that are saying, why are you in the most expensive place you can possibly be?
Yeah.
Why don't you move it down to Georgia?
Yeah, it's
true.
Or
Texas.
It's true.
So, Remington, that's scary situation.
It is. And I bet you, the unemployment office or working solutions in the area is shaking in their boots because an extra 600 people coming in to say, what do we do now?
Right.
One of those
just
things.
A little word to the wise to those folks out there in Albany.
Yeah.
It's
Remington Arms has, for my entire life, been the lifeblood of the Valley. It has.
Yeah.
It has. The CEO in that same email told workers that he planned to update them on what's next by October 12th. Okay. Also said dates can be affected by the bankruptcy proceedings, though. So that's what's going on with Remington, as it says.
God bless them all.
Oh, boy. And Oneida County issued an overdose spike alert for the area, which they do when the number of overdoses get particularly high. 6 overdoses reported in a single week between September 22nd and 23rd, actually. So that's 6 overdoses in 2 days.
Are they? Is that a heroin OD or is it just drug overdose in general?
Well, I think it's in general, but heroin and fentanyl are the big ones. Okay, the response team also reported 4 fatal overdoses between August 17th and September 11th. A total of 17 heroin or fentanyl overdoses took place in the county since August 17th.
Maybe some bad stuff hit the streets.
Yeah.
You know, like what was that? What were they saying at Woodstock? Remember that? Don't lick the blue baseball cards. It's bad acid.
It's bad, man. It's bad, man.
If there's a spike, maybe the source is not that good.
Yeah, the Oneida County wants to remind people that Narcan, which is the medication used to treat a narcotic overdose,
OD,
is available at various local pharmacies throughout the county. The public can also dial 211 or text 898-211 to find a nearby Narcan provider and more information on local treatment and recovery services. And a 41-year-old Rome man arrested after allegedly breaking windshield wipers on 2 Rome Police Department patrol vehicles. Happened on
why? Was it raining on his car?
Apparently. Richard J. O'Neill of Stanwyck Street arrested on September 22nd and charged with 4th-degree criminal mischief. Police say he allegedly broke windshield wipers and wiper arms from each vehicle and threw them in the road. O'Neill was issued an appearance ticket and released, scheduled to return to court December 1st.
What does this guy have against rainy windshields?
Yeah. Maybe because they weren't defunding the police in Rome, he figured he needed to lend,
He needed to up the expense account so that, he could counter it.
Yeah, that's probably it, yeah. And also, police called to Herkimer Walmart yesterday evening after a man approached a 12-year-old boy and offered to buy him a toy. Herkimer Police Michael Jory said the incident reported as a possible attempted abduction, but after reviewing the video, the man never made contact, never touched the boy or anything like that. As a matter of fact, they're saying that when they did find him later, they found him on the property. They said he appeared drunk, which kind of puts 2 and 2 together right there.
Yeah.
Officers at the scene interviewed the boy's mother, who said, when the man approached her son, she asked him to leave them alone. According to the police chief, the mother did not say that the man tried to grab or otherwise detain the child during the incident. The officers located the man, and the suspect was belligerent and told he had to leave the store. He refused to leave the store. The mother refused to press charges, to give a statement or press charges, but because the man refused to leave the store, they got him on trespassing. And they're saying that further charges may apply. He was drunk in public. Don't be drunk in public. You should probably try to avoid being drunk at all. I'm just going to put that out there. And a sad story. Utica mother arrested after police say her 5-year-old son fell from a 3rd story of a home when she left him on a balcony unsupervised. Happened on 1506 Catherine Street. Police say the child was taken to the hospital, treated for a broken jaw and other injuries after he climbed the balcony railing and fell 3 stories to the ground. After the investigation, the child's mother, 28-year-old Krista Redinger, was arrested on September 23rd, charged with endangering the welfare of a child. She's being processed at the Utica Police Department and then, of course, issued an appearance ticket and released, scheduled to appear in court in mid-October. Child Advocacy Center requested an order of protection against her on behalf of her child. So, sad story. People, keep an eye on your kids.
Oh, boy.
Common sense. Stinking sense. Today's holidays. Are we ready? Here we go. There's a bunch of them today. Off the top, we got National One Hit Wonder Day.
One Hit Wonder Day.
So if you see Billy Ray Cyrus, shake his hand and wish him a good day.
Brandy, you're a fine girl.
You're a real the
what
looking
a good
glass.
wife you would be.
There you go. Absolutely.
That's it. Okay.
And it's a special kind of holiday for nerds like me. It is National Comic Book Day today.
Oh,
so very important.
Comic books are pretty cool.
They are.
At first, when I remember when I was young, I was like, what is this? What is this? And you start looking at the art, and you're like, wow, somebody put effort into this. And then you start reading the story, and it's like, well, why did that happen? And then you find out there's a backstory, and then you find out a story to the character, and you're like, Oh,
Yep.
we're getting kind of novelty here. This is getting kind of like Lord of the Rings stuff, you know?
Yeah. Very cool stuff.
I mean, who knew that Superman was really the last survivivor from a dying planet?
There is still a handful of comic book stores around. I know Ravenswood still down there in New Hartford. There was the Fourth Wall, but that apparently they just closed recently because of COVID. Sad stories. I mean, but it is what it is. And your car will appreciate the fact that today is National Tune-Up Day.
It's Tune-Up Day.
Tune-Up Day.
Did you put new points in your car? No, because it's got electronic ignition.
That's right. Okay, today's also Math Storytelling Day. Is this like word problems? Math.
Oh, no. They don't mean like, okay, so...
If a train leaves the station at
Johnny is 22, but his aunt is 8 years older than him. How much older will they be when she goes to breakfast?
Yes. And today
Math Story Day.
I don't know the story behind this one.
I don't know the half of it.
I'm not sure the story behind this one, but it's also National Brave Day. So there you go.
Brave Day.
And wrapping out this particular segment, I do have some wonderful on this days, okay? On this day in 1639, the first printing press in the United States goes into use.
Oh, did he license it from Gutenberg, though? You know, they didn't do it by way of China and try to get rid of those license fees and all that.
Yeah. On this day in 1789, the U.S. Congress proposes the Bill of Rights.
Oh.
On this day today. 1911, groundbreaking begins in Boston for Fenway Park.
1911?
1911.
Oh.
On this day in 1912, Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism is founded in New York City.
I wish they could start it over.
Yeah.
Because, frankly, whoever's coming out of Columbia now, kind of like, you know, they need to learn what they knew back in 1911.
Yeah. In 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor becomes the first. She's sworn in as the first female U.S. Supreme Court Justice.
1981. 81.
Yes. And in 1986, Scalia appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court on this day. No, that doesn't happen this close to an election. It's never happened this close to an election. All right. And that's what's going on locally here. Your WVVC gas tracker brought to you by Big Dog Motors.
Big Dog out there, Todd Gookin. If you happen to be an offender bender, Todd's got the body shop, he's got the mechanical place, and he can even help you out with your deductible if need be. And he's also can do inspections, and inspections for big boys, and he even has a nice selection of used vehicles.
Yes.
In case you want to take your trusty old friendly,
yes,
not so friendly vehicle
and trade her in. Yeah. 315-444-9028 is the number. BigDogMotorsInc.com is the web address, and they're located at 4262 Acme Road in Frankfort. Cheapest gas today, BJ's $2.11. Mohawk Fuel today. Oh, hold on a second. You refreshed on me. That's not your cheapest. That's not your cheapest gas today. You know what the cheapest gas today is?
Newest update.
Yeah.
It's going to be $2.09 at BJ's.
Oh, so close. BJ's isn't reporting today, actually, apparently. $2.09 is Mohawk Fuel.
Oh!
Whoa. I guess I got to remember to hit the refresh button there. Wow. I almost gave you false information.
Oh, no.
That's terrible.
Al, this is not CNN.
This is not CNN or MSNBC. Mohawk Fuel on 291 is $2.09. Burn Dairy on Oriskany Boulevard's $2.19. Speedway on North Genesee Street, $2.19. Speedway on Commercial Drive by New York Mills, $2.19. Kinney Drugs down there in Whitesboro,
$2.21.
Oh, close. $2.19. Adirondack Food and Fuel down here at the end of the hills, $2.24. And the most expensive place to get gas today, once again, our winner is Fast Track down there on North Genesee Street at $2.37.
And I will have you know that I used my knowledge of gas prices last night when the tank was on Mighty E.
Mighty E?
Yeah, because I had to go meet a friend.
Yeah.
Miss Kimmy and I had to travel down the thruway, and we were coming back, and it was on E, and I'm like, out here, In North Utica, when you get off, the prices are really high.
Really high. Yes.
So I'm going to head out towards the mills, and the price goes down.
That's it.
And I actually I did the little clicker to see how many miles I got left. You know, it's like when I got off the thruway, it says, "Oh, we got 40 miles left." So I should be able to make it to the other side of town where gas is a lot cheaper.
Yes.
So
I've never understood. Well, yes, I do kind of understand why they have higher gas prices right there by the exit to the thruway. And you and I both know the reason why is people who get off the thruway are much more likely to get gas right there.
Oh, yeah.
Than to drive around.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, one could argue, does that qualify as gouging? Have you ever tried to buy a Big Mac on the throughway?
Yeah.
You could add like $3 to the price
Yep.
of your Big Mac?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
So how much kickback does the state need to support these travel plazas?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely insane. So now that I've
Yes,
taken
indeed.
most of the half an hour, what's going on outside the area wall?
Oh, sorry, Al, it's too late. The cop that was shot in Louisville, and there were the riots again last night in Louisville, you know, where they broke the windows to the library and threw in a flare and tried to burn down the building.
Yeah.
Those riots that were
Those
going
were
on in there.
Peaceful protests.
One of the cops that was shot on Wednesday showed up for work yesterday.
Wow.
He got a round of applause as he shows up for roll call.
Wow.
On Wednesday.
That says something right there.
Yeah, and he showed up for work.
That's dedication.
Is that pretty
or
cool?
a lack of time off. One of the two. It's one of the two.
I would say it's dedication.
Yeah.
And
or a
his
combination of the
partner,
two.
I believe, was still in the hospital,
Yeah.
who he had been shot in the abdomen.
Yeah.
All right. Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, boy.
No, she wasn't shot, Al. She said she won't try impeaching Trump again. I don't think he's worth the trouble.
Yeah, right. Because she was threatened.
I think her constituents took her into the back room and, showed her the rod.
Yeah.
And it's like, little girl, you really need to shape up because, if you're threatening these things that you can't really pull off, and now is not the time. It's like, get your act together.
Yeah. I'm not sure it was her constituents. I think it might have been her peers.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
for the higher up correction.
Yeah.
She signaled she would not attempt to impeach Donald Trump a second time as part of an effort to block his imminent Supreme Court nomination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chuck Schumer tweeted this morning that they've never appointed a justice this close to an election, to which I responded, hey, he was elected for 4 years. Mm-hmm. So,
and she also responded, it's no use orchestrating one thing or another when what really matters in terms of the peaceful transfer of power is that the people vote.
Uh-huh.
And remember how Trump's been getting peppered all week. Well, he stepped down.
Uh-huh.
It's like, okay, excuse me. Who refused to concede in the last election?
Yeah, that would be Hill
That
Dog.
was Hillary.
Hill Dog.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you guys are the ones that are having a hard time with the peaceful transfer of power, when these things come about, and then you're pointing the finger.
I know exactly what he's saying when he says we'll see. Okay, because, we just found ballots in a ditch. So you tell me.
Yes, we have.
Tell me.
There were ballots in a ditch. There were military ballots that were not counted or thrown out. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then they were actually open before they were supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and you know what? Actually, 7 of the 9 of those ballots in Pennsylvania that we're talking about were for Donald Trump.
Yep.
Okay, and then there's other ballots in this same scenario that were misplaced. Okay, that were in the wrong spot. So it's like, were they going to get counted? Okay, there is a former. This was broadcast on MSNBC's The Readout. Former Health and Human Services Secretary, I'm getting ahead of myself, Representative Donna Shalala, the Democrat of Florida, stated that she wouldn't take a coronavirus vaccine that President Donald Trump had anything to do with.
Well, did you see that quote that almost yeah?
No, I want to talk about how the line of this thing has advanced. We only needed 15 days to get over the curve.
Yes.
Okay, now and then it was like, well, we're going to need a vaccine.
Yes.
Okay, and now that a vaccine is coming,
I won't take that vaccine.
I'm not going to take vaccine because Donald Trump had something to do with it. You know, it's like, when are you guys going to be happy?
They won't.
Okay, when when Al Gore invents the vaccine, and Hillary comes up with the distribution system. Okay,
Did you see the Cuomo's press conference yesterday, where literally it's a slide that says we can no longer trust the federal government? I shared it on social media yesterday. I'm like, geez, are you trying to incite a civil war? Because it kind of looks it.
said the clown to the ringleader.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Just stupid.
Pay no attention to the man behind the sign that he just put up.
Behind the slide. Just stupid.
Now, this woman is the former head of Health and Human Services.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, excuse me. I read it down in the article. It was like, okay, if you're in a building on fire and you're standing on or down so that you can get in and be saved, and you look up and there's Donald Trump flying the helicopter. It's like, nope, never mind.
No thanks. I
don't want to be saved by Donald Trump.
Yeah. Unreal.
Crazy, go nuts. Okay, Charles Barkley.
Speaking of nuts.
He said, actually, not.
No?
He said, we need to stop the defund or abolish police crap.
Wow.
And actually, he was on the NBA on TNT when he said this. So he was on Turner Network Television.
Now, hold on.
And he actually, yes.
A celebrity on TV.
A basketball celebrity, a black basketball celebrity said, we need to stop the defund or abolish the police crap.
Wow. Wow.
Way to go, Charles.
Yes.
Yeah. So Trump was at a Florida rally yesterday. Again, bukus of thousands of people showed up at the rally.
They didn't put circles on the floor?
And he is, no, that's the other guy you're talking about. He is expected to be in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Virginia Beach area tonight, but he's going to be in Virginia. So the governor is saying that you can't have, I am only allowing groups of 250 or less. And Donald Trump, you're coming to Virginia. You can't have 4,000 people out at this event. So they're actually trying to stop the Trump train that is scheduled to be in Norfolk tonight. How do you think that's going to work?
Yeah, wonderfully.
I think that Trump is going to be in Norfolk.
I think so, yeah.
So that is kind of like, again, an airstream kind of thing. I believe that Biden was somewhere yesterday, but I didn't see anything about it, so maybe nobody showed up.
There was a Fox News poll that showed Biden ahead of Trump in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, and in one other state.
Right.
It was yesterday, and I just don't see it.
Well, I believe you are correct, because Miss Kimmy found something out this morning that I wasn't going to mention it because we're still kind of like looking for other leads on this thing.
Yeah.
But the guy that's doing the polling at Fox works for the Biden campaign.
No, really, we're ahead. Really.
We have Miss Kimmy said she found two separate indicators that this is actually true. Okay. But because it wasn't backed up by, a solid source, we weren't gonna say it. But again, I am with you on the same thing. He goes to Florida, there's thousands of people. He goes to Wisconsin, there's thousands of people. He's going to Virginia. They're expecting at least 4,000. Okay, and when he was in Florida, there were people that were lined up. They were starting to line up 8 hours before the president got there, and the line was beyond capacity 2.5 hours before the president got there. Wow. So if they had, he can't go into an arena. They're not letting him go into like a football arena where you can fit 60,000 people, even if he did half capacity at 30,000. Yeah. So that's why he's doing the airport rallies.
Yes.
Okay, the 747, he's out on the airport. It's open air, like an open air stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know. You go figure, okay?
Yeah.
But, and maybe they're not rallies. Maybe they're just
Protests.
Peaceful protests.
That's
They're
actual
actually
peaceful
protests. At the peaceful protest in Louisville.
But I thought you had to burn something down for it to be peaceful.
They like I said, they threw a flare into the library. This is in Louisville. And what they did, they had a 9:00 curfew. So the Unitarian Church down the road said, okay, you guys protest till 8:59, and we'll open up the gates to and the doors to the Unitarian Church, and you guys can come in here. Okay? And then guess what happens?
What's that?
You got people standing outside negotiating, can we go home now? And it's like, the cops are outside. No, there's a curfew. It's like, what part of 9:00 don't you understand? Okay,
man.
If it takes you 20 minutes to get home, then you need to leave at 8:40. You know, but they were in the church, and the Unitarian Church was a nice place. They had little, concessions for them. Some coffee and.
Did you see out there in California that guy in a Prius trying to drive through the crowd? People were beating on the car, and he just.
I did not see the one with the Prius.
Yes.
I did see a couple others
Yeah.
that were rather disturbing.
I bet.
Where the crowd was trying to, and the drivers were like, sorry, dudes, car is bigger than you, and you're not getting out of the way, and I'm not staying here.
Yeah.
Okay? Something bad is going to happen, and it did.
There was an
And
instance.
more than one
I'm
occasion.
sure. There was an instance where a protester lied on the ground trying to stop police on bicycles. And one of the cops rode over the head of one of the.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
It's not funny.
When I saw it, I did not see the person on the ground react.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was out. You know what I mean? If he was unconscious at the time, and of course, these videos are clipped.
Yes.
So you can't see the setup and you can't see the post.
That's it.
But another thing that I don't know. When this happened, was the officer? There was a police line was rushing forward.
Yes.
So obviously there was a clash that was going to be going on. Was the officer looking farther down the road? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where you're not looking where you're going, and the guy just laid down in the road. In order to try to stop the cop's bicycle thing.
Yeah.
So was the officer unaware that the person was there? Or because, he ran right square over the guy's skull.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
So, Walt, it's the bottom of the hour.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The bottom of which hour? What, is there some kind of curfew? What, are you going to ride a bike over me?
Don't tempt me, man.
Yeah. Okay, I won't. The bottom of the hour weather is brought to you by the folks at Media Partners Group. And Media Partners Group is located at 188 Main Street in New York Mills. Their number is 768-0277. They can take your old videotapes, your old films, your old slides, and get them digitized to DVD or thumb drive or a hard drive, whatever you would prefer. You can bicycle them to 188 Main Street. Don't hurt anybody in New York Mills.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Friday, we will see partly cloudy skies as our highs will be in the mid-60s. For tonight, we could see a few clouds from time to time. Our lows will be in the upper 40s. For tomorrow, Saturday, look for sunny skies with a few afternoon clouds. Our highs will be in the mid-70s. For Saturday night, skies will be partly cloudy as our lows will be in the mid-50s. For the long-range outlook, temperatures will be pleasant as we will see our next chance for rain early in the new week. Our fall foliage report shows some color already in the Adirondacks and in the Catskills. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC Utica, New York.
Waking you up.
Wake up, you sleepyhead. Get up, get out of bed. See how the sun is shining.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's the Breakfast Club, WVVC FM.
Tallest trees to the human life of you and me, from the desert sands to the place we stand. He is God of all. He is everything. Whoa. I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was his design. I'm giving my life to the only son who was and is and yet to come. Let the praises ring, 'cause he is everything. He is everything. From the autumn leaves that will ride the breeze to the faith it takes to pray and see. From the painted sky to my plague-filled eye, he is God of all. He is everything. Whoa. I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was his design. I'm giving my life to the only son who was and is and yet to come. Let the praises ring, 'cause he is everything. Everything. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I believe. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. I believe. I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. On that starry night, he changed my life, and I'm giving it all to the only son who gave me hope when I had none. So let the praises ring. Oh, let the praise. I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was his design. I'm giving my life to the only son who was and is and yet to come. Every angel sings that he is heavenly. So let the praises ring, 'cause he is everything.
Best part of waking up is
The Breakfast Club, WVVC 88.1 FM.
When I am lost, unsure I belong, without direction, my worth in question. Your words a light and a lamp to my feet. I am reminded I've been invited. I know it's who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, 'cause you're always gonna be a father. So I know I'm gonna see your promise. Faithfulness is who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, even when I feel uncertain. Come whatever, I will choose to worship, confident in who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder. Amidst the shadows, the weight of the night, I get the feeling this hope is fleeting. Your tender voice sings me out of the dark. You turn my word into your glory. I know it's who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, 'cause you're always gonna be a father. So I know I'm gonna see your promise. Faithfulness is who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, even when I know it's who you are. I don't have to wonder. I know it's who you are. I'm standing in wonder. Oh, I know it's who you are. I don't have to wonder. I know it's who you are. I'm standing in wonder. Draped on a cross, even though it was mine. Lay down your body, became an offering. Gave up your life, now my soul is alive. In all my weakness, your strength is perfect. I know it's who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, 'cause you're always gonna be a father. So I know I'm gonna see your promise. Faithfulness is who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder, even when I feel uncertain. Come whatever, I will choose to worship, confident in who you are. Oh, I never ever have to wonder. Oh, I never ever have to know it's who you are. Standing in wonder.
WVVC 88.1 FM, Wes Taylor right there, brand new stuff. And yeah, it is that time. It is time to uplifticate the people.
We're going to uplifticate. So, Al, a World War II pilot's son
Okay.
paid tribute to what he did in the Second World War because he and a couple of buddies took some AT-6 Texans. You know what the AT-6 Texan is?
I do not.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of like it's the Army version of the SNJ.
Oh, well, now I know. Now I know.
He did a flyover with his buddies as a salute to his father's duties in World War II. The AT-6 Texan and stuff, those were the advanced trainers in World War II.
Okay.
Before you got to the aircraft that you were going to fly, a lot of guys started learning to fly in the Stearman, the biplane.
Yep.
Okay, which is a really cool, very rugged aircraft. It's a great aircraft to learn how to fly in. So once you got your basics down, you advance to like the AT-6 Texan or the SNJ, and now you got a fast machine. The gear goes up, and it was pretty rugged, also. But you see that a lot of them flying around because they were so durable and stuff like that. But this guy, to salute his father, gets a couple buddies, and they fly 3 AT-6 Texans over his head.
That's awesome.
To salute Dad.
That's awesome. I do want to point something out. You talk about the planes being rugged. I don't think I'd want to be in a plane that was not rugged. I'm throwing that out there just now.
Here's a little, in World War II, the United States really made the two big bombers in Europe were the B-17 and the B-24.
Yep.
So they're going to go on a major raid in Europe. And there are CBS, NBC film crews that are going on the bombers, and they are all going up. And this is one of the, 300 plane raids that's flying over. And there were casualties, and there was a pretty substantial casualties. Now, I want you to keep in mind that if you fly 300 bombers over a target and 30 bombers get shot down, that's 10%. Okay? You got 9 more tries. All right? So a 10% casualty figure when you're flying an air arm is a big loss.
Yes.
And this is what Germany was looking for. Germany was looking to wear down the American air arm. And in 1943, we had not landed in Europe yet.
Right.
Okay, we were doing maybe the Italian campaign, depending upon which part of 1943 you're looking at. But the air war was critical to helping defeat Germany.
Yeah.
So these crews, they go in there, they're flying B-17s and B-24s. The B-17s carrying press returned. Some of the B-24s with press were lost.
Wow.
Over the target. The resiliency, the ruggedness of the B-17. The B-17 was slower. It carried a less of a bomb load, and it had less range.
Right.
But the pilots loved it because baby gets me home.
Yes. yes.
So that is why and you go to an air show and there's a B-17 there. You see everybody's oogling at the B-17 because the B-17 is legendary for its durability.
Yeah. Very cool.
It can do the job and bring you home.
Nice.
Yes, indeedy. So he gives Dad a flyover with his buddies in World War II aircraft.
Very cool.
How's that?
Very cool.
That's actually kind of like a wise thing for a dad to do.
There it is. I just smelt it.
You smelt that segue?
Smelt the segue. There it is.
Yes, indeedy. And this segue is brought to you by Words of Wisdom is brought to you by the good folks at NGEMS. Tony, Mark, and Julie have over 100 years of floor covering experience. And not only are they experts, they are actually also experts at saving you money. So if you do need to consider floor covering, consider NGEMS. They are located at 2010 Oriskany Street West, and their phone number is 733-0421. And on this Friday, September 25th, we are going to go to Proverbs 25:11. Like apples of gold in settings of silver is ruling rightly given. Like an earring of gold or an ornament of fine gold is the rebuke of a wise judge to a listening ear. Like a snow-cooled drink at harvest time is a trustworthy messenger to one who sends him. He refreshes the spirit of his master. Like clouds and wind without rain is one who boasts of gifts never given. Through patience, a ruler can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone.
I don't need the smoke of mirrors, 'cause I know there's a God who's real. I don't need the lights to fool me, 'cause I have seen the God who heals. I know when I ask I'll receive it, 'cause you're not a God who withholds. I hear you say just believe me. I need a Holy Ghost awakening my soul. I need a love that glows, rattling my bones till the evidence shows. I need a Holy Ghost awakening my soul. I need a heart on fire that'll never grow tired. Wherever I go, I need a Ghost. I need a ghost. I don't need a counterfeit comfort, 'cause nothing in this world remains. I need something stronger than lightning flowing inside of these veins. I need a Holy Ghost awakening my soul. I need a love that glows, rattling my bones till the evidence shows. I need a Holy Ghost awakening my soul. I need a heart on fire that'll never grow tired. Wherever I go, I need a Holy Ghost. I need a ghost. Holy Ghost. I need a ghost. Oh, the fire, I can't even explain it. It's like I'm bursting with a heavenly language. And every time I get a taste, I know I just want more. I just want more. You're the kingdom that's been growing inside me. It's like a lion's roar that wants to revive me. And every time I get a taste, I know I just want more. I need a Holy Ghost awakening my soul. I need a love that glows, rattling my bones till the evidence shows. I need a Holy Ghost
Brandon Lake right there. Brand new stuff. It's called I Need a Ghost. I Need a Holy Ghost.
Need a Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost.
I need it. I need it inside of me. I'll tell you.
Holy
to,
Ghost.
Keep me from
not
getting a Holy Ghost.
Yeah, something like that. 7:52 right now on the Breakfast Club. A beautiful start to the day. Windometer's moving a little bit, but the sky is blue.
We got some shakiness in the windometer.
A little bit, just a little touch,
Oh, that warm air must be moving in because we're going to be up to like 80 degrees today.
It's going to be a nice one. It's going to be a beautiful one.
And the low overnight's 54 tomorrow. The low is going to be above 60. Hey.
Nice. So now the next question is, how is the weather affecting the garden? We're going to find out in another half hour.
Miss Kimmy will be here to give us the Miss Kimmy Garden Report.
Absolutely. Also a reminder, WVVC is listener supported. So if you're blessed by our wonderful wit here in the morning,
and if you're blessed by the little ray of sunshine that Miss Kimmy brings you from the Garden Report, we do ask for your help. You can go to WVVCutica.com, and you can click on the donate button. And if you can't send a C-130 full of cash to Griffiths Air Force Base, we understand. But we would appreciate it perhaps if you could do a $5, $10, $20, $25, maybe recurring monthly donation, or even a one-time donation would be wonderful. But the recurring donations are nice because Al and I, we like having you around.
We do. We do.
We really do appreciate you being around. And even if you're not in a position to make a physical donation, can you make a spiritual donation, keeping us in your prayers?
Yes.
We really need those too.
We really need those.
Al says I need a lot of prayer.
Listen, I'm at least twice as humble as you.
Yes, indeed. I pray for you, Al.
You need lots of prayer.
I do pray for you.
I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah.
And I pray for our listeners. I pray for the station. And we hope that you can keep us in your prayers also.
Yeah. We got your weather forecast coming up next, along with your news at the top of the hour, straight ahead.
Some people just want to survive, and I don't know about you, but I am alive. Hey, hey. Lately it seems that I need a hand in a fallen world. I just want to stand. What would Jesus do? Walking in my shoes, working at my job, going to my school. And I hear people say, Jesus is the way. I believe, and that is why I'm asking you, what would Jesus do? And as we all know, life can be tough. And all that we need is love, sweet love. So where do we go? Here's what I see. To change my world, I've gotta change me. Yeah, what would Jesus do? Walking in my shoes, working at my job, going to my school. And I hear people say, Jesus is the way. I believe, and that is why I'm asking you. What would Jesus do? Sometimes choices don't seem black and white, and they can leave you black and blue. Yes, they can. What would Jesus do? Walking in
digging into the Wayback Machine for that one. That is Big Tent Revival and What Would Jesus Do? It is just about 8 o'clock.
Remember the Wayback Machine? Remember Peabody and Bullwinkle? Wasn't that one of the coolest cartoons? I loved watching that, and I loved watching Peabody get into the Wayback Machine, and giving you a little history lesson along the way.
What was the name of the kid?
Oh, Sherman. The name of the kid, Miss Kimmy just asked, what was the name of the kid in Peabody? And his name was Sherman.
Yes.
Yes, and Peabody was the smart. What kind of a dog was he? He was a beagle, like a beagle, I think.
I think so. I've got it in my head, but now we're going back. We're going back.
Too many cobwebs there, Al?
A little bit.
That used to be one of my favorites. I really liked it. And Bullwinkle had that kind of smart humor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when you watch Toy Story. Toy Story is really good for the kids. But if you're an adult, they're talking to you too.
There are
and they
other
got really smart humor.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. Now,
Mrs. Potato Head.
Oh man, yeah, and that's now you're 6 feet away, aren't you? You're 6 feet from me.
Al, do you need to?
Now listen, don't make.
We can send law enforcement in here.
Don't make me get my taser
if need be.
All right.
Because we're just on the computer and we're reviewing this footage in Ohio, where a typical soccer mom is sitting in the bleachers, and we're talking the bleachers are they hold 1,000 people, let's say, hundreds anyway, and there's maybe a dozen people in the bleachers.
Yeah,
she's watching the game at the middle school, and the school resource person comes up to her and demands that she put her mask on, that she wears a mask. Okay? We're talking social distancing with a 10-foot pole.
Yes.
Okay? And you're 6 feet.
So she didn't have her COVID
she's outdoors.
mask.
Yes, she does not have a COVID mask. They're outdoors. I mean, there isn't somebody around her for like maybe 12 feet. Easy, and maybe even more. And the resource woman is demanding that she put a mask on. She demands that an officer come and arrest her and take her from the stadium. The woman, shall we say, politely refuses? Flatly refuses. Absolutely refuses. And then the cop tries to cuff her and carry her away. And she is refusing even more. She is resisting arrest. She is like, no, you're not going, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
She has asthma. So she has a medical excuse.
Yep.
And the cop, who is a big
dude,
black, burly dude,
Yeah.
okay, is trying to grab little Miss Soccer Mom, and Miss Soccer Mom is not taking it. Yeah. And everybody is like sitting down watching this happen. I'm like, you can see a couple other people there that are not watching the game. They're watching her.
Yeah.
And she puts up such a fuss that the cop pulls out his taser and tases Soccer Mom for being outdoors without a mask, arrests her, and takes her away.
We have some serious problems. We do. Like in this country, we're looking more and more like China every day.
Yeah. It's like, what is it with the resource? The resource officer, I'm the school resource officer.
And why is
and I be somebody, so you're going to have to put a mask on. It's like, wait, we're outdoors. There's nobody within 20 feet of me. I have asthma, and she's the one that called the cop over and demanded that the cop do the thing.
Insane.
She was charged, I was just reading, she was charged with criminal trespassing.
Criminal trespassing for being on public grounds during a public game.
Without a mask.
Without a mask.
Do we have
country?
a left-wing
I'll tell you what.
What country are we living in?
there?
It seems to me like any lawyer worth their salt is going to get that thrown out. But, this is dumb times we're living in right now. Stupid times.
And, at the least, now this woman has to come up and pay for a lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay, there's going to be $5,000 out her door, because she's going to have to go get a lawyer.
Yep.
And because now the school, your tax dollars pays for the school lawyer.
Yep.
Okay, so the school is well funded, well covered.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're taxing your brains out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insane. Yeah, you're listening to The Breakfast Club on WVVC Dolgeville, Utica, and it's a beautiful TIGIF.
Yes. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, your weather update brought to you by Forever Leather in the New Hartford Shopping Center.
Charlie Seeley with his herd of jackets that he has there.
If you're looking for a nice, stylish way to stay warm this winter.
An infinite selection in a sea of cowhide.
Absolutely. 315-734-0922.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Friday, we will see partly cloudy skies as our highs will be in the mid-60s. For tonight, we could see a few clouds from time to time. Our lows will be in the upper 40s. For tomorrow, Saturday, look for sunny skies with a few afternoon clouds. Our highs will be in the mid-70s. For Saturday night, skies will be partly cloudy as mid-50s. For the long-range outlook, temperatures will be pleasant as we will see our next chance for rain early in the new week. Our fall foliage report shows some color already in the Adirondacks and in the Catskills. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC Utica, New York.
First on your FM dial, WVVC Dolgeville, Utica, Rome. Inspo Radio 88.1 FM.
I push, I pull, go back and forth, finding myself pounding on a locked door. I try to make it out alone without your help, but I know I never win this war. I can never be free without you. I can never be me without you. This is the sound of change breaking. This is the beat of a heart changing. This is a song of a soul forgiving. This is my freedom hymn. This is my freedom hymn. My freedom hymn. This is my freedom hymn. My freedom hymn. I breathe the air of freedom in, knowing my life is better off in your hands. The past is gone, what's done is done. Now I'm alive, and I'm never gonna look back. I can never be free without you. I can never be me without you. This is the sound of change breaking. This is the beat of a heart changing. This is a song of a soul forgiving. This is my freedom hymn. This is my freedom hymn. My freedom hymn. This is my freedom hymn. My freedom hymn. Who the sun sets free is free, yeah. Who the sun sets free is free, yeah. Who the sun sets is free, I'm free. Oh, this is the sound of change breaking. This is the beat of a heart changing. This is a song of a soul forgiving. Oh, this is the sound of change breaking. This is the beat of a heart changing. This is a song of a soul forgiving. This is my freedom hymn. This is my freedom hymn. My freedom hymn. My freedom hymn. This is my freedom hymn. My freedom hymn.
It's Austin French right there on WVVC 88.1 FM. Freedom Hymn. Love that song.
We saw him.
Yeah. What was it, like 2 weeks ago today?
Yeah.
Yeah, great
At
great
the
show.
Delta Lake Bible Conference Center.
Yeah, and they always they bring in some really good
What a
concerts
spiffy,
out
cool
there.
venue they got.
Really.
I actually thought that was a really cool.
Yeah.
It's not the first time that I was there, but it had been so long
Yes.
since I had revisited it that I thought that, wow, you know.
I was there often in the late 90s and early 2000s because we had Revive Festival out there every summer for a number of years. And,
Are they going to revive?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Your news update brought to you by Dr. Uniforms, 1311 Oriskany Street West in Utica. If you're a professional looking for professional gear,
And if you need spiffy gear for your spiffy job.
that's right.
If you want to look spiffy on the job, you can get spiffy toques, you can get spiffy chef coats, and you can get spiffy scrubs.
Yeah, spifficate your wardrobe.
Yes, indeed. And if you need those kind of shoes that can keep you on your feet all day long.
Absolutely. Dr. Uniforms, 1311 Oriskany Street West in Utica. The phone number, 315-266-0093.
Now, your local headlines from the Breakfast Club.
The big story today off the top, more than 600 Remington Arms workers furloughed yesterday. They learned through an email from the Remington Outdoor Company's CEO, Ken Darcy. They came to work and basically were sent right back home. The email said that the company had to curtail operations due to liquidity issues. Resulting in material shortages, the workers home without pay through September, or with pay through September 29th. So technically the furlough, which makes them eligible for unemployment, starts September 30th.
Liquidity issues.
Liquidity.
We can't buy supplies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an issue. Yeah, Remington Outdoor Company's bankruptcy and auction currently happening as it stands. Bids are coming in, from what I'm hearing. But one thing that remains unclear is are companies bidding on pieces or the whole company?
Right.
And those answers aren't out there. But the CEO in that email said that there are plans to update the workers on October 12th. But keep in mind that he says dates could vary because of the bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So
I'll bet the CEO is probably biting his nails, too, because he's probably wondering, am I going to have a company tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly.
And what happens when the buyers buy out? Are they going to, a lot of times people will just buy the company for the technology that they have.
Yes.
Take the machinery, relocate it. And,
or sometimes they just want the brand name. If there's another gun maker, they might want the Remington name.
Yep.
So there's a lot to consider when it comes to all that. And, all we can do is pray. Because Remington Arms is the lifeblood of the Valley. I mean, if you live in the Valley.
They are one of the few American gun makers still in the United States.
Yes.
Colt is gone.
Yep.
Savage Arms is gone.
Yeah.
There are a lot of gun makers that are no longer in the United States. And also part of that is because of the liability issues.
Yes. We are, especially now that they're going after the Second Amendment big time.
Because the left-wing lawyers want to say that guns kill people.
Yeah. And
the gun just got up on its own 2 feet and shot somebody of its own accord.
Yeah. And
it wasn't somebody else.
Like the Sandy Hook lawsuit really was the thing that pushed this thing over the top. It's just a sad statement.
So if you're a corporate leader and you can do it without that liability issue somewhere else, maybe I should go somewhere else.
Yeah. And, of course, New York, definitely not the cheapest place.
Not the friendliest place for a business to operate.
Let alone a firearm business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In other news, Oneida County has issued an overdose spike alert. Okay, and what they issue that when there's an exorbitant amount of overdoses within a certain period of time.
So it sounds like maybe some bad H has flooded the market here.
Yeah, something nasty. 6 overdoses reported between the 22nd and the 23rd. So across 2 days, there were 6 overdoses. They also reported 4 fatal overdoses from August 17th through September 11th.
That's worse than COVID.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So let's see. Should we start locking down everything? Should we have people wear, what can we put on your arm so you can't inject yourself?
So you can't inject yourself, yeah. A total of 17 heroin or fentanyl overdoses took place in the county since August 17th. They want to remind people that Narcan, which is used to help
right?
It's
the counter for
it's
an
a counter
overdose.
for an overdose is available at local pharmacies throughout the county. Public can dial 211 or text 898-211 to find a nearby Narcan provider. More information on local treatment and recovery services as well.
Can you buy Narcan over the counter?
You can. You can get it right at the
Really?
right at your drugstore. Yep.
You're kidding me.
I kid you not.
Huh.
I kid you not.
Oh my gosh.
Folks, stop using drugs. Okay.
Don't do
There's
drugs.
There's your PSA.
You
Stay
sound like,
in school. Don't do drugs.
You sound like Nancy Reagan there. Don't do drugs. Just say no.
Just say no. Oh man, did I remember that campaign? Holy cow! Oh yeah. A 41-year-old Rome man arrested for allegedly breaking windshield wipers on 2 Rome police cruisers.
Al, I was just going to say, the just say no campaign. It's like you can't tell people to not be stupid. I mean,
No.
you can tell them. You
But-
can't tell them don't be stupid.
but you've heard
people are going to be stupid
You've
anyway.
heard the expression, "You can't fix stupid." Yeah.
And now he got some guy ripping the wipers off a police cruiser. What were we saying about don't be stupid?
Yeah. Well, that's the other, like when you just going back to the drug thing for a moment. A lot of people don't realize that average people get themselves into this stuff. How does it happen? Well, over decades, they've been prescribing things like hydrocodone for pain.
Yep.
Okay. I've taken hydrocodone for my awful mouth. I have teeth issues.
Yep.
And I will tell you that when you take the stuff, basically for about 6 hours, you don't really care about much.
Things don't bother you.
Things don't really bother you so
Yeah,
much.
that doesn't bother
It messes
me.
with the part of your brain that actually it kind of creates a euphoric kind of feeling, and that's the issue. So what happens is if somebody's in an accident and they get put on a medication like this, which is pretty strong, and they're taking it for weeks, technically you can take it for a week and get addicted to the stuff, but you could take it. People take it for a while, and what happens is when it runs out and they don't renew it, what is the closest thing on the market that you can get that replicates that same kind of feeling? Well, I'm going to tell you, just because I know people who have dealt with it, heroin. It's a very similar kind of high. And that's why, people will go from prescription drugs to something like heroin because they get addicted. They need that escape from reality.
And you wonder why these things are prescribed in such buku forms.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you would think that the drug industry is insisting that you do this.
Well, now we've gone to the opposite, okay? If you're in terrible pain and you go to the emergency room, they might give you something there. They will not write you a prescription for it.
They'll give you a couple Anacin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So now we've gone to the opposite end.
Where we're doing overkill. Now,
We're-
a couple years ago, I had hip surgery. I
Yep.
had a new hip put in.
Yeah.
And the doctor prescribed that
Oxycodone.
oxycodone for me.
Yeah.
And he gave me like 50 tablets.
Yes.
And I'm like, I told him when I was in the hospital, it's like, whatever that stuff does, I don't like it. It just makes me fuzzy. Yeah, it did take away the pain, but it's like, I mean, people like this. And I was like, I was somebody that thought it was like really, it just gave me a buzz in my head that I'm like, yeah, and it's like that can go away because I don't care about anything because I got this buzz. But he's prescribed 50.
Yes, and the problem is you got that high that we're talking about here, and yes, people crave that. But then there's the other part of it that nobody seems to think about. It has a withdrawal, and it's not just a mental withdrawal. If they put you on it for a couple months, and then you have to. You have to wean off of it. You can't even just stop taking it. That's the thing,
Yeah.
If you can, this is my advice to anybody. As somebody who's gone through a lot of pain in my own life, if you can, you should manage pain with the least amount
That's needed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even like taking something like ibuprofen. Okay, if you can manage your pain by taking 1 instead of 2, do it. Because even those drugs, they can mess with the lining in your stomach. Tylenol can mess with your liver. Okay, so any drug like this that you put in your system does have an effect.
Oh, yeah.
Always manage yourself with the least amount you need to take.
Yep.
And I'm not telling diabetics not to take insulin.
Yeah.
Just common sense. Take what you need to take. but take the least amount you need to take.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's common sense. All right, moving on. Yeah, to our guy who is ripping windshield wipers off of Rome police cars. Richard J. O'Neill of Stanwyck Street arrested September 22nd.
Maybe he was suffering withdrawal.
Charged with fourth-degree criminal mischief. Police say O'Neill allegedly broke wipers off of and wiper arms off of each vehicle and threw them in the road. So not only is he messing up the police cars, he's messing up the tires.
Messing up my tires.
He was issued an appearance ticket and released, scheduled to return to court on December 1st. And this is a creepy story here out of Herkimer. Herkimer Walmart yesterday evening, a man approached a 12-year-old boy, offered to buy him a toy. Herkimer Police Chief Michael Jory says that the incident was reported as a possible attempted abduction, but when they were on the scene, they weren't able to actually find evidence of a potential abduction. What they did find by reviewing the tapes was that the man never actually touched the boy, so there was nothing like that. And the mother did decide not to make a statement. When they found the guy later at Walmart still, they discovered he was drunk. So most likely that's what it was.
That's when you know your life is,
you want
really doesn't have a whole lot of
toy?
future when you got to get blasted in Cruise Walmart.
In Cruise Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty low down there.
Yeah. So
that people of Walmart thing, you know?
They did, because they asked him to leave Walmart and he refused, they did end up arresting him for trespass.
I'm just here to check out the pajamas.
Yeah. Just absolutely insane. So needless to say, the suspect's name's not going to be released because more charges may be pending, but he was released on an appearance ticket scheduled to return to the village of Herkimer Court at a later date. Your WVVC gas tracker report brought to you by Big Dog Motors down there in Frankfurt.
Big Dog Motors, Todd Gookin.
Not Dukins.
Todd Gookin. He's the big dog at Big Dog Motors. He's got the mechanical shop. He's got the body shop. He's got the tow trucks. And if you happen to be in a little fender bender, not only does he have the equipment to take care of you, he can also help you out with that deductible that you might be going, oh, my gosh, I wish my insurance was better now.
And if you were dumb enough to cruise to the Walmart drunk, you know, and you get one of those
Toxalox things assigned to your vehicle.
You should end up with a DWI for
being dumb.
For being dumb. You can get your Intoxalock down there at Big Dog Motors as well. 315-444-9028. Big Dog Motors, Inc. is the web address. They're located at 4262 Acme Road in the town of Frankfurt. And let's talk gas prices, shall we?
Okay.
Cheapest gas today, Mohawk Fuel at $2.09.
Oh, we had a lowering of the price.
A lowering of the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's getting colder and people are not wanting to cruise quite as much.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is
summer driving season is coming to an end.
Usually at this time they start to change the blend, which is why you will notice a change in the price.
Yeah,
because
usually it goes up.
It does usually go up, which is coming soon to a gas station near you. But for now, Mohawk Fuel $2.09, Burton Dairy on Oriskany Boulevard is $2.19. Speedway down there on Commercial Drive is $2.19. North Genesee Street Speedway $2.19. Kenny Drugs $2.19. All right, now we go up. Adirondack Food and Fuel down here at the end of Higbee is $2.24. Sitco on Commercial Drive also $2.24. Fast Track on River Road $2.26. Cliff's Local Market on Utica Street $2.27. The most expensive gas you will find for the day is up there on North Genesee Street. That would be the Fast Track at $2.37. And that's what's going on in the world of gas. What's happening outside? What's happening outside the area, Walt?
Well, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced 134 felony voter fraud charges in connection with the 2018 Democratic primary. Felony charges in connection with alleged vote harvesting. So, no, there's no way to possibly cheat by mail. In Pennsylvania, the Department of Justice orders Pennsylvania County to change practices after they found discarded ballots. Oh, it seems like if you're in the military and you voted there in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, some of your votes were opened and just deemed not voter-worthy,
Yeah.
vote-worthy, counting-worthy.
Yeah, we don't like that vote.
There were other votes that were found in the same building or under the same jurisdiction, and they were like in the wrong box. So, were these ballots going to get counted if they were in the wrong place? Anything wrong with the vote by mail kind of thing?
Nah,
so
it's
far?
perfectly. There's no fraud at all there.
And actually, I don't know if you heard, but the Democrats are changing their opinion on voting by mail.
What?
Yeah, they are now insisting that their constituents go and vote in person. Because they are saying if there is so much voter fraud and so much things going wrong and so many mail-in ballots that are being thrown out, now that they're being challenged, in the past it was like, just go ahead and put a box out there, stuff the box, and they count the votes. Well, now there are armies of lawyers because they are expecting that they are going to try to cheat. So now that Trump has armied up and is ready to face that, and by the way, the Democrats are also arming up, saying that, yes, these votes should be counted. And remember what happened back in 2016 in Pennsylvania? In Miami, the woman that was in charge of this voting district, when they went to recount the ballots, she said, I burned them. So they're not available to be recounted because she burned them. There was a requisite period of time that those ballots are supposed to sit on a shelf. I know in one state it was over 200 days that they have to be there if they want to go back and they want to recheck them. But she actually burned them so that they could not recount them. And this was in the Miami-Dade County area where you can tip an election one way or the other.
Yeah.
There's enough votes in that area. But now the Democrats are saying, please show up in person and vote in person. And maybe they're changing their philosophy that they developed in Chicago, vote early, vote often.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, crazy stuff going on out there. In Louisville, where two cops were shot on Wednesday night, yesterday, one of them shows up for work. He got shot in the leg, and he still showed up for work less than 24 hours after he got shot.
So you're throwing out my idea that he probably just didn't have any more time coming, so he came to work.
See, those Democrats were right. We need more time off for our civil workers.
There you go. There you go. But that's awesome,
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's a lot of heart in that man.
Yeah.
He had over 20 years in service, and he shows up to work the next day to a round of applause from his buddies at work there.
That's terrific.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So also out in Louisville, there was protesting again last night. The protesters busted the glass door on the library and threw a flare in the library, trying to burn the building down. There was a 9 o'clock curfew in Louisville. And so the Unitarian Church just down the road at 8:59 opened their doors so that the protesters could go into the church. And the church offered sanctuary to the peaceful protesters.
Peaceful protesters.
Good thing they didn't burn the church down.
I was going to say, was it requested they leave their matches at the door? I was just curious.
Yeah, good.
Just curious.
Good idea. And then there was somebody that was outside in one of the Twitter feeds negotiating for can the people go home now? It's like there's a curfew. You're supposed to you're not supposed to hide out in the downtown church. I mean, well, you can hide out in the downtown church, but you're supposed to hide out in the downtown church until the curfew is over.
That's right.
It's not like, oh, well, now it's 9:30 and I want to go home.
Hope everybody brought a cot.
They're almost out of coffee here, so I want to go home now.
Did you bring your sleeping bag? Because you're going to be here a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I forgot this one. An investigation was launched after absentee ballots were found along the road.
Nothing to see here.
The U.S. Postal Service has launched an investigation after mail, including absentee ballots, were discovered along the road in a ditch in the swing state of Wisconsin. Again, anything wrong with this mail-in kind of thing?
Nah, no fraud at all.
No problems here.
No problems. Nothing to see here. Move along.
They're
Move along.
investigating What could have gone wrong with that? And remember the other one where we actually had it on video. I can't remember if it was Twitter or YouTube, where the post officer had all these. They were Republican-based mail flyers that he was supposed to deliver to the mailbox, and he threw them in a dumpster.
That's
because it was for the Republican candidate.
The envelopes had the R on it. Very easy to separate them out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you do vote by mail, it designates whether you're a Democrat or a Republican in a postal code. So if you happen to have a postal service carrier that is an R-based person and doesn't like the Ds, maybe the Ds might fall in the ditch. Yeah. And if you're a D-based postal carrier carrying Rs, you might find that the Rs
in a different ditch.
Yeah, a different dumpster.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't get that. D stands for ditch. R stands for rain gutter.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There you go.
Now I got it.
Or river.
Riverbank.
I had a buddy of mine that when I was in middle school, like 8th grade or something like that.
Yeah.
We found out that if we delivered flyers for the base movie theater on base, for what the movies were coming up, that they would give us free tickets to go to the movies.
Ooh.
So my buddy had the job, and I was like, he says, hey, I'm not going to be here for a week or two. Do you want to take the route? And you can do it. So actually, I followed him one time. You know what he did? He walked up to the nearest street gutter, and he dumped like half of them down there so that he didn't have to deliver all of them because he was lazy. So he just threw half of them out, saved half the work. He still gets his free movie tickets.
I think there's a whole generation that was brought up on that kind of
shenanigans?
Yes. How can I get the reward without having to do the work?
Yeah. So Nancy decided that she's not really going to try to impeach Donald Trump after all.
Yeah.
He's not worth the effort, not worth the time. I don't think he's worth the trouble, quote unquote.
And can I point out why she's so worried about impeaching Donald Trump if he's going to be out of office in a few weeks anyway?
Yeah. That's what she thinks.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm watching things. I don't see it. Biden's teleprompter literally was bigger than his audience last time. One of his last events.
Yeah, he had more people operating the equipment than he had spectators, fans in the audience.
I'm wondering how much they paid the guy to draw circles on the floor. What a job.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do a lot of circles anyway, but I bet he got a lot of money for that.
That
brilliant concept.
Yeah, we're not really social distancing. We're just making the floor look busy so that instead of dead empty space, you've got colored empty space.
That's right.
Bubbles.
Cycles. Got them cycles.
Yeah, save circles. So it is the bottom of the hour, and bottom of the hour weather is brought to you by the folks at Media Partners Group. Media Partners Group is located at 188 Main Street in New York Mills, and they can take your old VHS tapes, your old films, be they 8mm or 16mm, and your old, remember those 35mm slides?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, we got
the
a
ones
lot.
that are in
We
the
got a
closet,
bunch.
taking up a lot of dust.
In
they
my
can
closet.
convert those to digital, put them on a DVD that makes it real easy for Grandma to watch, because Grandma can just pop the DVD in and she can see it. Or a lot of people like to put them on thumb drives, because now you can take that picture of you in your way cool car back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And that can be your screensaver.
There you go.
That's why people like them, like a lot of pictures or a lot of videos, because, if you have the video on a thumb drive, you can do that screen grab.
Yeah.
And make that your new. Remember back when I was young and good looking?
Yeah, I was going to say, remember when I wasn't fat and ugly? Oh, wait, no, did I say that out loud? Wow. Wow.
Thanks, Al. People are going to want those like crazy now. Yeah, I want pictures of me when I wasn't fat and ugly. So they're located at 188 Main Street in New York Mills, and their phone number is 768-0277.
Now, your Breakfast Club weather forecast.
Hello, everyone. I am Kevin James with a quick check of your WVVC weather forecast. For today, Friday, we will see partly cloudy skies as our highs will be in the mid-60s. For tonight, we could see a few clouds from time to time. Our lows will be in the upper 40s. For tomorrow, Saturday, look for sunny skies with a few afternoon clouds. Our highs will be in the mid-70s. For Saturday night, skies will be partly cloudy as our lows will be in the mid-50s. For the long-range outlook, temperatures will be pleasant as we will see our next chance for rain early in the new week. Our fall foliage report shows some color already in the Adirondacks and in the Catskills. With your weather forecast, I'm Kevin James on WVVC Utica, New York.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes
Please
is
tell Walt to stop.
Oh, man.
It is Friday. It is time for the Miss Kimmy Garden
This
Report.
song is
Miss
making me
Kimmy is
cry.
here.
I don't want the end of the gardening season. I want to go out and play up more seeds.
She wants to grow more stuff. We have got so much stuff in the back room that is like we got pumpkins lined up. We got squashes over there. We even have the giant zucchinis at 8 New York sitting out on the back step. And you know what happened? We restored it because we were going to figure out where we were going to put it. So we left it by the back door.
Yeah,
you know, on the concrete ledge leading in. And the squirrels found it.
Oh,
so the squirrels are hollowing it out and pulling the seeds out.
I gave it to the chickens this morning. So.
Oh, did you?
I'm not supposed to say that we have chickens.
Believe it or not, yeah, actually, if you've got something like that, it is amazing what the chickens will eat. Yeah. I mean, if it's got like any kind of sort of food value, they'll eat McDonald's.
I believe it.
I don't know. Once I saw them go after a styrofoam cup.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of somebody feeding a chicken KFC, so there's something wrong with that.
Okay, I got something worse.
What's that?
Long ago, I think it was Miss Kimmy told me the story about how they used to have chicks way back when she was little.
Yeah.
And Grandma would actually make up some scrambled eggs, feed it to the chicks.
Oh, that's wrong. That is wrong.
I think we need to do a reset here. So,
hey, Miss Kimmy, welcome to the Garden Report.
Hi. So I heard you guys talk about a blue moon the other day, and you defined it. So what day is the blue moon, Walt? Do you remember?
The blue moon is the second
I know
full
what it is.
moon
Yeah.
of the month,
And
but it's going to be on Halloween.
Or something like that, right before Halloween? Yeah.
I believe it's Halloween night. Yeah.
Halloween night.
Okay, I like blue moons.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. So autumn is here.
Yes, indeed. It is autumn. Oh, and you know what we did in a blue moon in autumn a while back? Remember that?
Yes, we did a blue moon paddle.
Blue moon paddle in the kayaks. That was awesome.
A whole bunch of paddlers from all over the place showed up at I think they call it Forest Port.
Yeah, Forest Port Station.
Cayuga Lake, the edge of Cayuga Lake.
Yeah.
And we waited till it was starting to get a little dark.
Oh, they launched luminaries.
And that was afterwards, yeah. And we paddled to the dam and waited till the moon came up. People had little drinks and champagne and wines in their kayaks. They celebrated, and then we paddled back in the dark.
Oh.
I mean, people had flashlights.
Yeah, it was cool in the dark, but it was full moon, so you could
still see.
And they had safety. They had a boat. They had a couple boats with a power boat with safety precautions on it. And then they launched luminaries. So I missed that. I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
So we're here in sweater weather.
Yeah, the sweater weather will be coming back after this weekend. It will definitely be coming back. We get a few days respite before the sweater weather really kicks in.
And I love watching the foliage change. I wish it would stay up on the trees and not fall down. But I've already seen some maples, sugar maples that are so red. The colors are starting to come out there. So it's just absolutely beautiful. So we missed something kind of important. Didn't really mention it, did we?
Oh?
The equinox. The autumnal equinox.
Yeah, we did mention the equinox when it was equinox time.
I missed it. I wasn't
It was
listening.
9:30 in the morning. I can't remember if it was early this week.
Yeah.
Like Monday?
It was.
It was September
Monday or
22nd.
Tuesday?
Yep.
Tuesday.
The 22nd. And how long are the days of the equinox?
12 hours.
I actually was looking for the date, and I saw that, you know how Google comes up with predictive questions?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions was, how long are the days on the equinox?
Yeah.
Equal day, equal night.
24-hour days. Equinox means equal night.
Yep.
So anyway, so we found another pumpkin, Walt. We thought we had all the pumpkins. We probably have close to a dozen. It's been a fantastic pumpkin year, and I was knocking a few things around and saw a pumpkin hidden way under the raspberry bushes.
That's right, yeah. And we pulled that out.
So that's like over a dozen, I think.
Wow, it was a good pumpkin year.
Nice.
Fantastic
Yes,
pumpkin
indeed.
year. Great pepper year. People were reporting all over the place. It's a
Yeah.
fantastic pepper year. We have Concord
That's thanks
grapes.
to Al Gore.
Yeah. Thanks. Yes. Peppers like nice hot weather.
Yeah.
I have Concord grapes. We picked some. They smell so good.
The Concord grapes. It seems like they taste better this year.
Yeah. Just the weather. And I have some more to pick. And they have big seeds, but if you make jelly out of them, they taste just like Welch's grape
Taste
jelly.
better.
Just better.
They taste grapier.
And
Because the Welch's stuff tastes like too sweet. It's grape already have tons of sugar.
you can control the sugar in it.
Yeah.
And not put any on.
Yeah. Very good stuff.
And I don't know if you know this. I didn't tell you this, but some of the raspberries that we have out there are dual blooming. They'll have raspberries during raspberry season, and then there'll be a smaller harvest late in the after the summer. I actually picked and enjoyed 2 raspberries the other day. And
Nice.
there's more coming. So a little bit a handful, something to throw in your garlic. So the topic today, Al, do you know what else? You like roses, right?
I do.
Do you like stinking roses?
Stinking roses.
Do you like stinking roses?
And them stinking roses.
And those stinking roses, they got thorns in them.
Not stinking roses. Do you know?
Oh, stinking roses don't got thorns in them?
Stinking rose
Then
is
they don't
another
stink.
name for garlic.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Now you do.
Good thing you were here, Al.
So
Can we go home now?
So it's time to get your garlic in. The last couple of shows we mentioned start thinking about getting the garlic in, obtain your garlic. If you haven't obtained garlic, I would call some of the little farms around here that sell garlic. I'm not going to name names, but there's plenty.
Yeah.
This is a garlic area. They may have some left. Try not to use the grocery store garlic. It's substandard. Some of that is coming from China. You don't know what kind of varieties. It may not be an optimal
You don't know what kind of
variety.
chemicals China
You don't
put
know
on
what
it.
kind of chemicals. Many of them are
It's a
treated,
long sea voyage from China
Yeah.
to your grocery store.
Yeah.
and many of them are treated so that it won't produce. However, if that's all you can get, if everybody is sold out, I would still say it's worthwhile to put it in. I
Yeah.
would just do everything to try to get it in. So there are many kinds of varieties of garlic. I can't keep
There
track
are.
of
There are
them.
bukus of varieties of garlic, and I never knew that until we went to the garlic festival out there in
Out in Little Falls.
Little Falls. Yeah.
Eat stink and be merry.
So for this area, we
Those
want to make
stinking
sure.
roses.
For this area, we want to make sure we have what's called a long day garlic. And I mentioned that with the onions and things we have just where we happen to be our
A long
latitude,
day garlic.
where
Why?
we
Does
are
it-
in our latitude.
Does
the
that take
days
how
we
long
live
to chew it?
Yes. So first of all, we want a long day garlic. Then you have to decide if you want a hard neck or a soft neck. A hard neck I think does better. For the most part, does
It's a
better.
long day. Isn't that bad enough?
Yeah.
Do we need a stiff neck garlic on top of it?
Yeah. Don't be looking for the redneck garlic.
Yeah, I'm looking for a long day, stiff neck, stinking garlic.
So I got the names of maybe 3 varieties. There's certainly a lot more. Music. There's a variety of garlic. I don't know why it's called music, but there is a very, very popular in this area to grow garlic. It is medium hot, cold tolerant. So we certainly have cold weather. It's really, really good. And it'll store a long time, store up to a year.
Wow.
Almost 6 months, certainly 6-9 months easy. That's a hard neck. There's a Polish white, which is a soft neck, mild tasting if you don't like the full garlic.
Are there protests about that? Do black garlic matter?
There are some black garlic.
Really?
Oh, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I don't know much about it, so I'll just mention that there's a black garlic.
Sounds like something you would use, to keep vampires away.
And there's a German red. There's several different kinds of German. A German red is a hard neck, and it's spicy and pungent. That'll keep
Let's
the
see. We
garlic
got
away.
Polish, we got black, and we got German.
Oh,
I thought garlic was an Italian thing. All right, we're going to get around to this.
Okay.
Something you put in your spaghetti sauce,
So,
right?
you know what? If you've never planted garlic before, I want to encourage you to just at least try a little bit. It is a very easy, trouble-free crop to get in. You'll put it in with just a bit of effort right now, and pretty much it will grow itself if you wanted to without fussing until harvest midsummer.
It's like putting your tulip bulbs in.
Yeah.
You put them in the fall. You're going to put them in about now.
And you don't
Okay.
put them in now and don't do anything much to it. So to plant your garlic, you want to prep the soil. You want to choose a sunny spot. And to prep the soil, we want to make sure it's
Do you
not...
got to use a wooden stake when you...
Well, I do for drilling the holes.
I thought it was just to keep the vampires away.
So we want to make sure that the soil, they give that it wants a pH of 6.5 to 7, which basically means you don't want it acidic. So if your soil runs a little on the acidic side, throw a little lime in there, bring the acidic down. You want to put some nice fertilizer, throw in compost, put in some something where the first number is a little low, like a 5, 10, 10. The nitrogen you don't want a lot of nitrogen in the soil.
Okay, so
Just
garlic doesn't need nitrogen.
No, you want to
It's
grow
one of those plants.
Yeah, you want to grow the bulb. You want to put in maybe some bone meal if you have bone meal, compost.
What's in bone meal?
Ground bones.
That'll do it.
You know those dead vampires we were talking about? Or those people that did not plant garlic.
It is close to Halloween. We're talking about ground bones.
Did you know also something called blood meal?
No.
You want to ask me what's in blood meal?
I'm afraid. Yeah, the people
All right,
people
sorry.
that got
All
away
right,
from the vampires, they
All
drained their
okay,
blood.
okay,
So they,
no, all right.
But anyway, no. What is the active ingredient in bone meal that makes bone meal?
It's just basically ground bones.
Is it calcium in there or something like that? You know,
You had to ask me. I had it at one time. I don't know. Don't remember.
Is there potash or
One of those.
whatever the?
Yeah, not potash, but phosphorus or so. I don't know. One of those. It's good though. It's good to have.
Okay, so
just
garlic
trust me on
likes
this.
bone meal.
Yeah, bone meal, compost. And then you're going to select the largest, healthiest cloves. For me, I may go out and buy a little bit of garlic, but I also had a very nice garlic harvest. So I'm going to go through and pick out my largest heads of garlic. I'm going to separate them a few days before I plant them. I'll separate them into the individual cloves. I'm going to keep that papery skin on it. I'm not going to peel it. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm ready in a few days, what I will do is plant them, I'm going to say about 6 inches apart. You can get a little closer, but I like 6 inches apart. This is where I take the stake. I put a little hole in the ground.
You stab the ground.
I stab the ground every 6 inches. I'll do a bunch of that, and then I will place the clove in the little hole that I made, and I want to make sure I get pointy end up. Same thing like tulips, pointy end up.
It matters how you put the clove in the ground.
Yes, because the flatter end is where the root. That's the bottom of the root. That's where the root. If you plant it the other way, it may want to try to right itself, and it's not going to be happy.
If you plant the garlic upside down, it's not as effective against the vampires.
Don't do that.
Okay, you've got 5 to
Pointy end up.
Pointy end
And
up.
put some bone meal in the garlic yard there.
That's why I don't take. Why I love you digging the soil and doing the hard work, not the.
Not the brain work, huh?
Hey, you want your rows about 12 inches apart.
Which end of the shovel do I use?
So you want your rows about 12 inches apart. Your plants about 6 inches apart. So you can get quite a bit into a, if you want to do the math, Walt, into a 4 by 4 by 10.
2 and a foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you got a 6-foot row,
well, we have
you
10
can
foot
get
rows.
12. And then if you got another row, you can get another 12. There's 24. So inside a 12 by 2, you can put 24 plants in.
No, I think you're doing something wrong because I actually planted close to 100 last year.
Yeah, but you did not have you had a much bigger You had a 10 by,
I had a 10 by
4.
Yeah,
roughly.
something like that. Yes,
And
yes.
I don't even think you filled it.
Oh, I left a little space at the end
Yeah,
for
you
something
did.
else.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then after you get this in, you want to mulch it heavily. You want to use something to cover it up a little bit because
You
it's
wanna
going to
bury
overwinter. You want to bury it with mulch it with maybe some chopped up leaves.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to put lots of leaves. If you have just regular leaves that are not chopped up, they'll mat down and it'll be a wet, sloppy mess, and the things get. But if chopped up, nice layer of chopped up leaves, or what I really like to get is straw, not hay, straw.
Yeah.
Why don't you use hay?
Hay has got seeds in it, a lot of seeds in it, and if you put the hay in, the seeds will sprout, and now you got more weeds in your bed.
So
straw
we use
is a
nice, clean
yeah,
straw.
Nice clean straw. You're going to pay a little more for a bale of straw than you will hay, but it's definitely worth it. And you leave the mulch on, the straw on all winter.
Yeah.
In the spring, at some point, once you're, in fact, some people do leave the mulch on all year until harvest. I tend to, once it's warm enough and I know they're not going to freeze, I'll take it off. Usually straw will go into the compost pile. So the reason why I like and I want to encourage garlic planting, not only is it easy, it's something we can do now, but there's a lot of health benefits. I think right now with COVID, with what we know about the flu, just what we know about health, it's a very healthy thing that you can do.
Garlic is good medicine?
Garlic is great medicine.
As well as a vampire preventer?
Al, will you shut off his mic? Okay, it reduces cholesterol.
Oh.
It helps with just leveling off your blood sugar.
Keeps the Walters away?
It helps with your blood pressure. It's got an antioxidant called Allicin.
Ellison?
Allicin. Allicin.
Allison. That sounds like a band name. You know what I mean?
Now, you want to know what Allicin is good for? It protects against cell damage of your brain and aging.
I think she's trying to say
it
something.
It prevents against brain damage.
I think she's encouraging you to eat more garlic.
You know, we're a little more aware of Alzheimer's, and people are looking for things to prevent that. And this is just one of many things that you can do to kind of help keep your brain sharp as you age. I was going to say maybe a political candidate should have taken some.
Are you saying Nancy's not getting enough garlic?
So I think we covered everything on garlic.
All things garlic?
Yeah. I was in the grocery store the other day.
So we can put the garlic thing in the tomb and
bury it. You just bury it. Bury it.
We've covered that?
Yes.
I think there might be a beatdown coming here. We're going to sell tickets for this. I foresee Miss Kimmy busting up wall here.
She's going to take that hard neck garlic.
Pay-per-view event.
Walt had V8 this morning, which he normally doesn't drink in the morning, and I wonder if it's the extra.
It makes him extra funny in the morning.
Is there garlic in V8?
So I got to say one more thing. I do the grocery shopping for the family, and when I go when I go into the grocery store, I really pay attention to the empty shelves. And I know you're out there in the stores a lot, Al, and I'm sure you see that the shelves. This isn't what it was like 2 years ago or a while ago, and it's strange. Things that you don't even expect.
Yeah.
You know, now you can get plenty of toilet paper, but I have not been able to buy Brawny paper towel.
Yeah.
Which is a brand I like. I could find just a little bit of cheap. Name brand.
You know what else I can't find anywhere is a lot of cleaners. Literally the cleaners are missing from the shelves.
Another thing that's been missing for a while is trying to find diced tomatoes. Well, I like to use little smaller cans. Now that we're empty nesters, a little bit of diced tomato in this little thing or that little thing goes nice. And I actually saw somebody, store clerk, associate, putting cans of tomato things on the shelf, but it was tomato paste.
Yes.
And I asked him, I said, I have not seen diced tomatoes in a long time. I think you can get now a tiny little bit of stewed tomatoes. In the Hannaford I went to a couple days ago, they had a few cans of stewed tomatoes, and Oh, the Rotel, which
Yeah.
is with the hot pepper, and that was it. And I said, "Am I just missing it? Are you refreshing it, or is no more tomatoes coming in?" And they said, "No, the tomato harvest is done. It was a very, very, very bad year for tomatoes, so we
Wow.
can't get any more tomatoes. It'll be not until the tomato harvest from Florida or wherever they're getting the tomatoes for. It's going to be several months away." So I do know that some of the farmers markets around here, the farm stands, still have tomatoes. So I'm going to encourage anybody who is into canning or has the canning supplies, because that's another thing hard to find is canning supplies. But it's not too late to pick up a half a bushel or something like that of tomatoes. And it's very easy as long as you follow the approved safety methods. I'm going to recommend you cannot can diced tomatoes. But you can do whole tomatoes or half tomatoes, and then
You can't
quarters.
can diced tomatoes, but you can can whole tomatoes.
Whole and up to a quarter. It's a the way they collapse. It's a little bit of a density issue on there. You just might not get quite. It's very slim that you could get sick or that you could get something from there, but I follow approved safety things, so I quartered my tomatoes, and if I need them smaller, I'll just chop them up before.
So
I throw
you
them in
can
the pot.
quarter them, but
Yes.
you can't dice them into like
That's
cubes
right.
or something.
And I just learned that a little while ago.
Huh.
But anyway,
Very
so
interesting.
my word of advice: can it up.
Is that
Hear that, Al?
Your word of advice for Walt too? Can it?
Yeah, I was going to say, Al, can it?
It is 8:55 already.
Yeah, and it is about the end of our broadcast day here at WVVC, and we thank God it's Friday, and we also thank God for good words of the day. And the good word is brought to you by the good folks out at NGEMS. NGEMS floor covering with over 100 years of experience. Go ahead and talk to Mark, Julie, or Tony, and they can provide expertise for you, but they not only are experts in floor covering, they're experts in saving you money. Instead of going to the big box store, go check them out, NGEMS. 2010 Oriskany Street West, 733-0421. And as we close out this week, we're going to close out with Romans 8:28, and one of the verses that we're all probably somewhat familiar with. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose.
Amen.
So with those good words, we close out this good week, and we will see you next week, everybody. Take care.
Take care, everyone.
In the morning when my heart is cold, you're the heat for my weary soul. You're the good in all I know. In the mirror, all that I see is your grace looking back at me. I'm not the man that I used to be. You're the song rising from my heart. Everything comes alive. Everything comes alive. Everything comes alive. Everything comes alive. And you. In the evening when my bones are tired, you're my strength and my heart's desire. You're the light when the sun expires. I remember how far I've come. I'm not lost with you, I'm home. I didn't find you